Hello. Okay, so we've talked about a morning routine and a nighttime routine for you. And I purposely started there because if you don't have your stuff together, there is zero chance your kiddos are going to have their stuff together. And it's a bit hypocritical to expect things out of our children that we're not able to do ourselves. So, once you start to have your stuff together, then you can start to expect your kids to get their stuff together. And it's so important to start early. The younger they are when they start developing healthy routines, the easier it will be for them to incorporate these healthy routines into their daily life. And the earlier it will become just a natural, normal part of their day. Now, the flip side is that it's never too late to encourage these routines either. It may be a bit more challenging because when they're older, they've already established routines, either healthy or not so healthy. But it's never impossible, and it's always beneficial. So, healthy morning and nighttime routines are not only super beneficial to children, they're also super beneficial to the household. When everyone has a plan, things just run smoother, alleviating stress, chaos, and frustration. Win-win, right? So, research shows that morning routines for children help them develop their inner sense of self, responsibility, ownership, independence. And then nighttime routines teach children about self-care, improve sleep, which creates a healthy foundation for attention and thinking and memory. It encourages family connection. It improves mood and stress levels. Okay, so let's jump into the parts of a solid morning and night routine. If you've watched my morning and nighttime routine videos for parents, you heard me say a good morning routine actually starts the night before. Well, no surprise here, the same is true for children. So that's where we're going to start today, the nighttime routine. So here are 5 important parts to your children's nighttime routine. Now, before we get started, if you've watched my previous videos, you're going to hear some of this stuff and think, that sounds familiar. And I hope it does, because it should. Because the reality is there's a lot of crossover between what's good for you as a child and what's good for you as an adult, with just some minor tweaks here and there. The awesome part of that is if you get your child into a great morning and bedtime routine habit, it will be much easier to transition those healthy habits into adulthood. Okay, so here we go. Here are parts of a healthy nighttime routine for your kiddos. First off, determine bedtime. So there's tons of research out there on how many hours of sleep children should be getting. So here's a general idea. There's a ton of growth, restoration, rejuvenation, and resetting that only happens during sleep. So depriving your child, or yourself for that matter, of proper amounts of sleep is going to deprive our bodies and minds of the ability to function at their best. And when I say bedtime, I literally mean lights out, eyes closed, drifting off to sleepy time. So often parents will say, it makes me crazy because we say bedtime is 9 p.m., but they actually don't go to sleep until like 10 o'clock. And then when I ask them what time they start their bedtime routine, they say, well, they head up to bed at 9 p.m. Your bedtime is the finish line, not the starting point. And everything you have to do before you close your eyes has to happen before. So once you determine your bedtime, work backwards to figure out when you need to start your nighttime routine. This may take a little trial and error, and while I can help you with the parts of a good bedtime routine, only you can know how long it's actually going to take to get it done. Number 2, turn off all electronics 1 hour before bed. Now, after you stop rolling your eyes and feeling like this is completely unrealistic, the research is in on how technology in general, but especially before bed, affects sleep. The blue light emitted from devices literally inhibits your body's ability to produce melatonin, which controls your sleep cycles. It also increases the amount of time it takes to fall asleep, as well as the quality of sleep that you have. Number 3, prepare for tomorrow. Have your clothes ready for the next day, backpacks ready, sports bags, equipment ready. For younger kids, if you're heading to the library, have them collect all their library books. All of this encourages responsibility in kids and encourages their positive self-concept because they're taking ownership of their activities. They're a part of the process. Okay, number 4, self-care. Nighttime routine is a great time to encourage and reinforce healthy physical habits. Make sure teeth are brushed, showers are taken if that's when you take them, things are put away, and room is clean. A messy, cluttered room creates stress, whether they know it or not, that will hinder healthy sleep. Engage in some sort of quieter activities to prepare the body for sleep. Listen to quiet music or read a book or journal. All of these things help your child relax their body and prepare for an awesome night of sleep. Number 5, have some connection time. I love this. If you're doing your nighttime routine right, it should feel like things are relaxed and slowing down. This is a great time to connect with your kiddos. Read a book together, say prayers, talk, ask what their favorite part of the day was, least favorite, what they're looking forward to tomorrow. If they have any worries on their hearts, share your heart with them. Life can feel so crazy and chaotic during the day. Take advantage of this quieter, uninterrupted time to connect. Okay, so now fast forward through an amazing night's sleep, and let's look at the pieces of a morning routine that will set your child up for an amazing day. Okay, number 1, determine a wake-up time. Now, this should be early enough that your child can ease their way into the day. Many times, parents think they're doing their child a favor by allowing them to sleep as late as possible so that they can get more sleep. But in reality, the best thing you can do for your child is allow them enough time in the morning. Think about it. Compare how you feel on the days you can leisurely roll through your morning routine and days you're panicked the moment your feet hit the ground because you have 15 minutes to get everyone up, fed, and out the door. Ugh, it panics me even saying it. Yuck. Don't do it to yourself and don't do it to your children. Number 2, don't allow electronics in the morning. We know that electronics have a negative effect on us physically and mentally and emotionally. So why would we want to start our kids' day out that way? Now, many of parents I work with say, well, my kids wake up super, super early in the morning and much earlier than I do, so they just watch TV. Well, 2 things. If possible, it's so beneficial to wake up before your child. Check out my video on morning routines for more info on that. But if it's truly not possible and your child is waking up at some insane hour of the morning, have other quiet activities for them to work on in their room. Think of it another way. You may actually be sabotaging your child's sleep by allowing them unsupervised electronic time in the morning. By offering them a super fun treat in the morning, they may train their bodies to wake up earlier than normal just so that they can get that treat. Allow them to read books in the morning or color or play quietly with certain toys. Not only will this be healthier for them and a healthier start to their day, but it'll also help them develop skills of entertaining themselves without electronics. Okay, number 3, have them make their bed first thing in the morning. Developing healthy habits is so important in children. I could literally spend days talking about habits, but in a nutshell, for a behavior to become a habit, it needs a cue. So some sort of event that causes a behavior to happen. In this case, the cue is getting out of bed. They get out of bed, they make their bed, they feel good, whether they acknowledge it or not, that they accomplished something first thing in the morning and that they are taking care of things. The more consistent they are with this pattern of behavior, the quicker it'll become a habit. And then the quicker it becomes a no-brainer for them. Okay, number 4. Since we're talking about habits, let's keep the conversation going with having good hygiene habits. Brush their teeth, comb their hair, put on clean clothes, bathing. Help your child learn the importance of these things by reinforcing them in their morning routine. Explain why they're important. Show them how to do them properly and allow them to take ownership of doing them when they're ready. If you always do it for them, they'll never learn how to do it for themselves. Now, of course, there is a learning curve. As a parent, I always struggled with this. I was fine if they didn't make their bed perfectly, but not brush their teeth perfectly. Ooh. The risk, like a mouthful of cavities, always seemed a bit higher than I was willing to take. But then I found the coolest thing. It's these purple tablets that children can chew that show them where they did not brush well enough. Love these because it gives them a visual report card of their brushing skills as they're learning how to brush properly and effectively. Everyone should have these. I attached a link in the description box if you're interested. I promise these are game changers. Okay, number 5, review their day with them. When kids are little, it's easy to just kind of drag them through the day. As they get older, parents still tend to control the calendar just because it's easier. But by knowing what's ahead, they can also take ownership of being prepared for the day. Going to the library, they can collect their books. Have basketball practice later, they can make sure their uniform is ready and the bag is packed. Trip to the grocery store, they can bring something with them to keep themselves entertained. When kids know what's ahead, they can build some pretty important life skills preparing for all of it. And bonus, it helps you because you don't have to run around frantic looking for books or a form of entertainment or basketball clothes or bags. And it really allows you to help prepare for the day better. With both morning and nighttime routines, be consistent. This creates what is known as an anchor moment for a child. So an anchor moment is a moment or experience that your child can count on regardless of what happens throughout the day. This creates predictability, comfort, and security for your child. All good things. Also, remember it may take time to establish these routines. It probably isn't going to be perfect at the beginning or ever, but it establishes a goal and expectations to work towards. Remember, we're looking for progress, not perfection. Make it visible. Create charts or checklists that not only create visual cues for your child, but also allows them to cross off or add a sticker or whatever they want to do when they've completed something. This keeps them on track, gives them a little confidence boost, and a feeling of accomplishment. On a side note, I've added a link in the description to my favorite laminator and laminating sheets. This little baby has so many uses in your household and is probably one of, if not the most used tools that I have in my house. And the uses are endless, but in this particular case, you can laminate your charts, use a dry erase marker, and reuse it day after day or week after week. Another option is to just print off a bunch of pages and keep them in a binder and use a new one each day or each week. Okay. That was a long one. So thanks for sticking through to the end. But it's such an important topic for your kiddos. Morning and nighttime routines set the foundation for their days and their nights, both super important. And if you're instilling these things early, you're setting them up to carry these awesome habits into adulthood, which is awesome. So high five to you. You got this. Want more of this? Let's stay connected. You can subscribe here. Also, make sure to scan the QR code to get weekly-ish visits from me in your email with tools and resources to help you get your kiddos and your family out of survival mode and on their way to thriving. I promise I will only send things I believe will be ultra valuable to you. So I'm so thrilled we got connected, and I can't wait to see you again. Welcome to the Well-Equipped Family.